Standing by for a call.
Hi and welcome back to another Tech Minds video. Now in this video we'll take a look at a pretty cool little handheld HF transceiver called a uSDX Ultra Micro Transceiver. Now this radio covers 4 of the most popular ham radio bands, 10, 15, 20 and 40 meters. Now while reception could be performed on other bands, it's only those 4 which are supported for transmit. With an RF power specification of up to 5 watts, this micro transceiver contains an inbuilt 1100 mAh rechargeable battery. Now a charger is supplied in the box, but you may need a suitable adapter to use in your country. Now RF power will vary when using either the inbuilt battery or an external 13.8 volt DC supply, which can be connected to the side port. There are 2 side ports, one is for external power and the other is specifically for charging the internal battery with the included charger. Now also supplied is a USB to TTL cable. Now this allows the use of third-party software for use on digital modes like FDA or FD4 for example. But audio routing would be through the microphone and speaker sockets that you find on the top of the radio. Now most of us have seen radios like this in the past, and of course they are not to the quality of Icom, Yaesu or Kenwood, but they do have a place in the market. Now this radio particularly costs around $100, so it's not a lot of money for what you get. Well, changing bands can be done either through the menu or by double tapping the side button. The side button is also a rotary encoder used for VFO tuning and changing settings in the menu. I did notice the encoder is quite sensitive, so a careful finger while using will be needed. Now just one tap on the encoder will change the position of the digit, which is changed when you rotate in for VFO control.
X-ray 1, Sierra Whiskey Lima, Stroke Alpha calling CQ, standing by for a call.
Well, changing modes of modulation can be performed by pressing the exit button, which will toggle between USB, LSB and CW, or as shown here, you can go through the menu system, which can be a little fiddly. The menu has a few settings which can change how the radio operates. There's a built-in attenuator, Vox and gain controls. You will need to fine-tune the gain controls so that your transmission audio is as clean as you can get it. Overdriving through the gain controls can make your transmitted audio sound a little mushy. Now I'll show you what I mean shortly. One of the last settings in the menu is the ability to change the output type from the audio jack. Now this can be either set to demodulated audio or IQ data. What this means is that you can feed the IQ data directly into your computer and view the band on an SDR application. Combine that with the rig control using the supplied USB to TTL cable and you have a little SDR transceiver. Obviously this is not something you'd want to do while out portable, but it's a nice little feature to have and to play around with while you're in the shack doing nothing. Now, as mentioned earlier, you will need to play around with the noise gate and the TX driver level settings to get good sounding modulation or at least intelligible transmitted audio. Now here is what it sounds like using the internal mic, which is mounted on the top of the radio. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that didn't sound very good at all. So let's play around with the TX drive level and try again.
The TX drive is now set to 2. TX drive now set to 2. TX drive, now set to 2. 2X drive, now set to 2. Over.
Well, that sounded a bit better, but the audio was still slightly distorted and cutting out too much. This is most likely down to the noise gate setting. I don't have an external microphone to test, but I would imagine it would sound a lot better than the internal mic shown in this demonstration. Now, if any of you guys use this radio or a uSDX, then please leave your settings in the comments below, as I'll be sure to try them out. Also, what kind of external microphones have you guys been using? Now, I performed some power tests using the internal battery and a power meter connected to a 50 ohm dummy load. Now, with the radio put into CW mode, I went through each band and pressed the PTT. Now, most of the bands showed around 3.5 watts. I was quite surprised that all of the selectable bands did transmit, unlike what the specs say with just 4 bands supported. Strangely enough, 80 meters was the highest output at just over 4 watts. Now, it's too early in the day to check 80 meters reception, but would be interesting to see how well it transmits there. Now, I didn't get a chance to make a QSO on this radio, and quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered to play with the drive, gain and noise gate controls to try and get the best sounding audio. I think there are better options out there for the price point, but what this does offer is an extremely small footprint, so it's perfect for chucking in a rucksack with a length of wire on your hiking days out. Well, there we go, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I already know exactly what you're all going to be saying, especially when it comes to any artifacts on the transmissions. Well, just remember, this is pretty much a project piece of kit. It's not a singing and all dancing product that you'd find from the main 3. Anyway, until the next video, take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.